Now we do present perfect tense. This tense connects present with the past. When it is used to talk about achievements, life experiences, actions completed in the very recent past, same action repeated at different times to describe an action during a time period that has not finished, to talk about where we lived, studied, worked, etc. Here we use words since and for to talk about recent events. We also use this sentence when time of action is not important but result is important. For example, I have met him before. Here, meeting is more important whether you have met him. When you met him is not important. Important is you have met him before. I have been to USA. Here, it is not important when you had gone to USA. It is important that you had visited USA. The result is important. So when the result is important, you use present perfect tense. Here we use words like just, ever, never, already, so far, yet, this year, this month, this week, today. We also use since or for in this sentence. There may be questions. Since is used to talk about a specific point of time. For example, since 1990, since last month, since last week, since I was born, since he arrived, since Wednesday, since 9 o'clock. And for is used with a period of time, that is duration of time, that continues until now. For example, for 5 years, for few months, for half an hour, for ages, for hundreds of years, for 3 months, for 2 weeks, for 3 days. Here we will discuss what are the various situations when we use this sentence and what are its various examples. So first situation is when recent past result or actions completed very recently. I have cooked lunch. That is, I am have not to cook lunch anymore. It is already prepared. Action is complete and the same has been completed recently. I have finished my homework. That is, my homework is finished. I will not have to do any homework now. The same is already finished. I have just eaten lunch. We also use this sentence for unfinished time or no time expression. For example, this week, this month, this year in my life. Here you will see this week has not lapsed. This month is still continuing. This year is still going on. In my life is still on. I am still alive. So whenever these words come, we use present perfect tense. For example, I have worked here for 5 years. It means still working there. She has lived there for 3 years. That is, I am still living there. In the case of past simple, we say she lived there for 3 years. He has visited twice this year. He has met me 3 times today. This year or today is not finished. Past repetitive. I have shopped here for many years. When I am doing shopping from a particular shop for many years, we use the present perfect tense and it becomes I have shopped here for many years. There are certain common words and expressions that we use in this sentence. For example, I have already seen that movie. I have just eaten dinner. He has met me twice this week. They have lived in USA. It shows only life experience. That this sentence means that they do not live there now, that they do not reside in USA now. This sentence only shows about our likes experience. Next sentence is they have lived in USA since 1998. It shows that they are still living there. When not to use this tense, there are instances when we are not to use this sentence. For example, finish time expression. We cannot use this sentence where the time is already finished. For example, I spoke to him 2 times last month. Here last month is the time which has already finished. So the words like last week, last month, last year, yesterday, in 1960s, in the year 1990, in the sentence represent finished time. Here we use past simple tense. When our focus is on time, that is when that particular action has taken place, you have to use present simple tense. If your focus is on action or result, you use present perfect tense. How this sentence is formed? This is the formation of the sentence. First comes subject, then we have to add has or have, which are the helping verbs, and then comes the third form of the verb, that is past participle. In the case of subject being I, you, we or they, we use have, and in the case of third person singular, we use helping verb has. So now we do the positive, negative and interrogative forms of this sentence. Here the formation is subject, then have or has, plus third form of the verb I have worked, she has helped. When we talk about the negative form of the sentence, then not is added in between have, has or third form of the verb. So examples are I have not worked, he has not helped. And when we make the sentence interrogative, so we here simply do that the helping verb comes to the start of the sentence. So you will see have I worked, has he helped, and please don't forget to add interrogation at the last of the sentence. Now the question arises, is there any difference between present perfect and past simple tense? Yes, there is difference. Present perfect tense shows that an action in the past has a result or effect in the present. If an action started in the past and ended in the past, then we use past simple tense. Here we will discuss the understand this concept with the help of an example. If you say, I lost my pen, it means that you lost your pen on, say, Monday. But it is quite possible that you may have found the same on next day, that is Tuesday. It does not mean that what was true in the past is still true on date, as you have found the pen. So what was true in the past, that is you have lost your pen, was true in the past, but it is no longer true in present context. So when a sentence may not be true in present, we use past simple tense. But when you say I have lost my pen, it means that what happened in the past is still true now. That is, the said pen has not been found until now. I am not having that pen now. Here, time of happening is not important. That is, when you lost your pen is not important. What is important is result. The result is that I do not have my pen now. The same has not been found. So what was true in the past is true till true as on date. This tense is present perfect tense. We discuss this concept by way of examples. I have taught English to many students. This is present perfect tense. When we say I taught English to many students, when I was a teacher, this is past simple tense. That is, you are no longer teaching the students. You were teaching the students when you were a teacher. So when something is not true in the present context, we use past simple tense. Next example is they have been friends for a long time. Here we use present perfect tense. But when the persons are not may or may not be friends at the present context, we use past simple tense. The friends may have no longer have context with one another. They were friends long ago. That is, they were friends in the past. Here we will use past simple tense. Now we do verbs used in the present perfect sentence may be regular or irregular. What is irregular verb or regular verb? First, regular verbs. Regular verbs are those verbs whose simple past and past participles are formed by adding d or ed to the end of the verb. Sometimes we have to add ied to the regular verb to make simple past and past participle. Here you will see the list of regular verbs. We make them simple past or past participle by adding ied, d or ied. That is, admire becomes admired, admired. Here cry becomes cried, cried. Now these are the examples of irregular verbs. What are these? Irregular verbs are those verbs that do not take on regular d, ed or ied spelling pattern to make past simple or past participle. Here you will see arise does not become arised, arised. Be does not become by, beat, beat. Here arise becomes arose, arisen. Be becomes was, were or been. Teach becomes start, start. Bet becomes bet, bet. Here there is no change. Here you will see that simple past and past participle have changed a lot. So the past forms of irregular verbs, these are the past forms, may be the same or different. As you see here, the past forms have different formation, and here the past forms of the verb are the same. So these are the examples of irregular verbs, and these are the examples of regular verbs. In the case of regular verbs, you may have to add d, ed or ied at the end of the verb, and in the case of the irregular verb, you have to remember the same by going through your notebooks or any other material. Contractions. Contractions are also often used in present perfect tense. For example, I have becomes I, you have becomes you. Here you will see that HA has been removed and apostrophe has been added and no space has been left in between. And in the case of he has, she has, it has same pattern. HA has been removed and apostrophe has been added and no space has been left between the two words. Now when we talk about negative I have not, it becomes I haven't. Here you will see have not has been, in the case of have not, no space has been left between these two words, and then O has been removed and apostrophe has been added. The same has been done here. And in the case of he has not, it becomes he hasn't, she hasn't, it hasn't. And you will see has not, no space has been left between these two words, and O has been removed and apostrophe has been added. Please note that he may mean he is or he has. How would you know whether apostrophe s means is or has? That is, whenever you will see this word is, it may be he is or he has. You know what it means only on the basis of what follows is. That is, he an engineer. You cannot use he has an engineer. You will only use he is an engineer. You cannot use he has playing. You will use he is playing. When you cannot use he is finished, you will use he has finished his homework. He is met him is not correct. You will use he has met him. So whenever it is written he is met him, it means he is met him not. It means he has met him. In the case of present perfect, we can also give answers in short form. If the question is, have you visited USA? We can give the answer, yes, I have. You will please observe that there is no contraction. But if the answer is in negative, you will see that the answer will be, no, I haven't. You will see that there is contraction. So whenever in the case of present perfect, you are to give short answer, then in the case of positive answer, you will have not to use any contraction. However, in the case of negative sentence, you can use contraction. Next example, has she eaten dinner? Yes, she has. You will see here there is no contraction. But in the case of negative answer, you will see hasn't is the contraction used. Has he purchased a house? Yes, he has. Again, there is no contraction. No, he has not. He hasn't. Here, in the case of negative answer, there is contraction. Now, we will discuss about some common mistakes which are there in the present perfect tense. They has won the match. You will see word has, helping verb has been used. As already told, in the case of third person plural, we have to use they. As already told, in the case of I, we, you, and they, we have to use have. So they have won the match. We will use have. She been to London. In this case, no helping verb has or have been used. So as she is a subject and it is third person singular, we will use has. She has been to London. Next, they have see the movie. You will see that see is the first form of the verb. It is the basic form. Other forms are see, saw, seen. This is the second form. This is the third form. We will use third form, that is the past participle, and it becomes they have seen the movie. Next question, did you ever eaten there? Now, as already told, the question in the case of present perfect will start with has or have and not with did. So the question will be, have you ever eaten there? Next question, when have you purchased this house? In the case of present perfect, we do not use the word when. When is used when the time is already finished. It is used in the case of past tense, past simple tense. So we will remove when, and the question will be, have you purchased this house? We have visited him last month. Here, last month is the finished time, the time which has passed. We will either remove it and it will become we have visited him, or we will replace the last month with the unfinished time, that is this month. We have visited him this month. Next, have you seen this movie? We were giving the answer of this in short form, so we will write yes, I am. No, this is wrong answer, as we are not to have the contraction of have. We will answer it in yes, I have. So in the case of short answer, no contraction has to be made in the case of positive answer. So now we do the practice of this sentence. Positive answer, positive sentence. He, as for hint purpose, we have already mentioned how this sentence is formed. So as already told, in the case of he, she, or it, we use have. In the case of I, we, they, you, we use have. And then we use past participle, and that is third form of the verb. He, we will use has. Third form of the buy, bought. He has bought a new car. They, with they we will use have. They have. Be, third form becomes been. They have been to London. I, in the case of subject being I, we use have. I have. See becomes see, saw, seen. It is the third form. This is the second form of the verb. I have seen this movie. Again, I have now known. I have known him for years. He, with he we use has. He has lived. In the case of negative, we use has plus not. She has not. Win becomes won. She has not won the match. They, as already told, we will use have plus not. They have not. Reach becomes reached. Next, I, we will use have. I have never been. Third form of be. I have never been to England. Next, we will not use not again, because not is already there in the form of never. So I have never bought a car. This is an important sentence. Please remember it. I have not. Have becomes had. This is the third form of the verb had. I have not. Do becomes, as you know, Do, does becomes did, done. This is the first form. This is second form. This is the third form. I have not done any shopping for a month. Interrogative. She does her homework. As you know that in the case of interrogative sentence, the question has to start with has or have on the basis of the subject, whether it is first person, second person, or third person. So here it is third person. So question will start with has, she, does becomes done. Has she done her homework? At the last, we will add question mark. In the case of he, the question will again start with has he, take becomes take, took, taken. Has he taken his breakfast? Take, took, taken. It is the first form. It is second form. Taken is the third form. Next, does she ever played cricket? So here again we will start with has she ever played cricket and question. Do you understood this lesson? Here we will start with as have is added with you. Have you understood this sentence? Okay. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course. Thanks.